In his office in New York's Rockefeller Center, Paul Volcker fills the hallway. He is a towering figure, both in height, he's 6'8", and in reputation. He spent 8 years as chairman of the Federal Reserve. And these days, he's again casting a giant shadow over Wall Street.
Do you believe the culture on Wall Street has to change?
Yes.
In the aftermath of the financial crisis, Volcker has led an outspoken campaign to curb greed and speculation.
My concern has been the health of the banking system.
For nearly 2 years, the 84-year-old economist chaired President Obama's Economic Recovery Advisory Board, helping to shape the president's banking reforms. In January of 2010, Mr. Obama urged Congress to enact
a simple and common sense reform, which we're calling the Volcker Rule, after this tall guy behind me.
The draft of the president's speech that morning had not included Volcker's name.
Were you surprised when he called it?
I was absolutely surprised. I knew nothing about it until the words came out of his mouth.
How do you feel about having your name on part of this?
No, it's partly fun, partly an annoyance.
The Volcker Rule, which goes into effect in July, will prevent banks from making speculative bets that could put both themselves and the taxpayers at risk.
And I think part of the problem is that kind of mentality, the trading mentality with very high incomes, distorted the culture of traditional banking.
It got out of hand.
Got out of hand.
Volcker believes soaring salaries and bonuses encouraged bankers to make more risky trades.
Do you think that's changing?
Changing, but not very rapidly. There's a lot of resistance, for obvious reasons, I guess.
Volcker, who headed the Federal Reserve in the 1980s during the Carter and Reagan presidencies, knows about resistance.
What's happening here? When was this?
Oh, this would have been when I was chairman of the Federal Reserve and interest rates were 20%.
Yeah.
And the criticisms was coming in.
He pushed interest rates above 20% to conquer inflation, and succeeded. But Volcker had to take the country into recession to do it.
There's a lot of people that just aren't making it.
And the move provoked the most widespread protests in the Fed's history. Angry farmers blockaded the Fed with their tractors.
Was that a tough time?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that was a difficult time.
3 decades later, he's under attack again, this time from the banks.
Some CEOs have been particularly critical of you.
Well, I wasn't aware of that. That amazes me. Are you telling me that? No.
Jamie Dimon, the head of J.P. Morgan Chase, said Paul Volcker, by his own admission, has said he doesn't understand capital markets. He has proven that to me.
Well, unfortunately, I think that they proved some of that to me, too. I mean, their own misunderstanding. How did they get in so much trouble?
But if Volcker has put himself in the line of fire, the president has been an even bigger target.
President Obama's taken a lot of heat from Wall Street. He's often accused of being hostile to business, waging class warfare. Do you think that's true?
No, I don't understand the depth of that feeling. I really don't. This business that he's a great socialist and out to undermine the free enterprise system and so forth. It just has no connection with reality. You know, how could you have a president of the United States taking office in the midst of a financial crisis and a deep recession and not be critical of the financial system? He would have been deaf, dumb, and blind.
Volcker believes the banking system is in better shape now. But while there's more work to be done, he may not be the one to do it.
Do you think you'd be back in the mix like this at 84?
No, and somehow I'm not so happy about it. I think it's time to get out of here.
The banks will be glad to see the back of him. On the day we visited, Paul Volcker, a Princeton graduate, was thinking about his 65th college reunion next year.
You looking forward to that?
Well, I just wondering, looking forward to living that long. I don't care about the reunion.